The most popular question that I get when it comes to running a print-on-demand business is, Joe Robert, how much money do I need to get started? And that's what we're going to talk about here inside of this video. So let's jump into it. So today we are talking about starting print on demand with less than $100. And if you guys enjoy this content, make sure to check out the POD Ninjas Facebook group. There's over 43,000 print on demand store owners inside of it. So if you wanted to get some more content from me, including product reviews and more, you could definitely check out the group. The link is down in the description. Also, my free Shopify setup course. This is a step-by-step course showing you how to actually go about opening your Shopify store. And as always, if you enjoyed the video, make sure to drop a like. It helps the video to get out to a wider audience here on YouTube, and it really does help my small channel to grow. So I do appreciate it. If you enjoyed this, drop a like. And in today's video, we're going to be covering a whole bunch of things to help you to wrap your brain around what you actually need to spend on a print-on-demand business with Shopify. Now, there are going to be timestamps in the first comment of this video if you wanted to jump ahead. But first, we're going to talk about the best place to start print on demand. We're going to talk about what you don't need to spend money on, what you should spend money on, and then how to actually make sales for free. I'm going to be discussing that marketing method at the end of this video. It's actually one that I used when I got started with print on demand, and I eventually was able to make about $5,000 in sales per month and not having to spend anything on ads. So the point of this video, like I said, is to show you how to get started with $100. I think it's really important to understand when I say to get started, I'm not talking about how to become profitable, right? What I'm actually talking about is what can you do with $100 to launch your print-on-demand store. Perhaps you could become profitable. See, a lot of times when people ask, Joe, how much do I need to start print-on-demand? What I sense from them is they are saying, how much money do I need to become successful? Or how much money do I need to be able to see consistent sales? And I think it's important to recognize that theoretically, you could start. You could follow exactly what I'm talking about here in this video. Start your print-on-demand store with less than $100, and you could never need to reinvest again because maybe you made sales, maybe you began to be, scaling products and things like that. But there's also people, and I see this all the time inside of the POD Ninjas Facebook group, where they make a post talking about wasting and losing thousands of dollars on their print-on-demand store, never seeing any sort of return. Now, obviously, no matter how much you're investing, you're going to need to have a great-looking store, great products, and a great strategy to actually market those. So assuming that you do all of that really well, and if you want more help with that, make sure to check out the other videos on my channel, but assuming that you do all of that really well, everything in this video is going to help you to actually launch with just $100 or less. So the best place to start print on demand, regardless if you are a beginner or not, is going to be Shopify, period, folks. It's the best place. There's a lot of other places out there where you can do print on demand, whether it's Etsy, Amazon, Redbubble, right? There's going to be other options out there that are free. Shopify does cost money, but Shopify, regardless if you're a beginner or not, is going to be the best place. If you guys want to check out this video here or this video here on my channel where I talk about this concept, you can. If you're already sold on Shopify, perfect. We'll continue here. You're going to have the most control over your brand. You're also going to have the best print-on-demand products available to you through suppliers that are only available on Shopify. Also, it's the best place to convert cold traffic, meaning sending people to your store from social media or other places. It's the best place to convert them into buyers. And there's also a pretty low barrier to entry, meaning you don't really need to do a lot. I know a lot of people when they refer to these other platforms that are free, they tend to make them seem like those are easier. But honestly, Shopify is not that hard. I've had clients that have literally just jumped into Shopify, been brand new, and were able to create an awesome looking store without a whole lot of difficulty. So another thing that I want to talk about is some false information that is out there around Shopify, mainly some things that I see people posting about or commenting about inside of my Facebook group when it comes to Shopify, right? They say things like, well, Joe, Shopify is $29 a month, but what about everything else that you have to spend money on? Wouldn't it be better to just open an Etsy shop and not have to spend on anything unless you are actually making sales? And like I said, I want to address some false information that I see out there. First, when you're doing Shopify, you don't need an expensive theme. There's no reason for you as a beginner to go spend hundreds of dollars on an expensive theme. Now, don't get me wrong, expensive themes are nice, right? If you're going to go out and buy a premium theme, they're like Turbo or Booster or something like that. They're nice. They really are, and they can take your store to the next level from a branding perspective, but they're not necessary. You don't need a premium theme, no matter how many people out there will tell you that you do. And the second part of this is you don't need any paid apps, right? This is something I see a lot. People will say, well, Joe, yeah, I can afford Shopify at $29 a month, but what about all those other apps that I need to pay for? Those are going to add up, and I'm going to have a big monthly bill every single month. Now, you don't need to spend any money besides your Shopify subscription when it comes to actually opening the store. When you're a beginner, don't worry about themes, don't worry about paid apps. You don't need any of those. Take it from me. I have I've done case studies and stuff like that in the past where I've done this with a free theme and with no paid apps to show that you really don't need any of that stuff. So when it comes to a budget, don't think about any of that stuff, okay? You don't need it. It's false information, folks. Now, when it comes to how to actually spend this $100, right, we're going to keep it really simple. I want to talk about something called a minimum viable product, right? This is something that is just literally the bare minimum, right? It's literally the bare minimum that you need to launch. This is a concept that people use, especially when they're launching like a new software or something like that. They'll launch a really bare bones version that has just the right amount of features for people to actually use it and begin providing feedback to the people that created the software. And the same thing is true with print on demand. When you start, just start with the bare minimum. I see so many beginners that spend so much time building out a really complex store with like dozens of products on it, and it takes them forever to actually launch. And there's two reasons why that's a bad thing. The first is that it takes a long time, right? You don't want to spend that much time before you actually know if something's going to work. And the second part is, what if you do spend months building out this massive store with a huge product catalog, and then you launch and you don't get the results that you want? You're likely going to be pretty discouraged because you just spent so much time. And most likely, when you first launch your store, you are going to experience some sort of failure because you're new to this, right? And just like anything else, you're going to make mistakes, and it's going to be much better off in the long run if you actually just start with the bare minimum and get your store launched so you can immediately begin getting feedback on your ideas. When it comes to print on demand, this means launching a store with a small amount of designs, literally 2 designs, 4 designs, 6 designs, right? A really small product catalog, right? As long as the store, if you're putting effort into it, making sure that the homepage and the product pages are branded and things look good, you're not going to have an issue. People are not going to be like, why does this store only have 4 designs on it that I can buy? No one's actually going to say that. So launch with the minimum. Don't go crazy, and try to get to market as quick as possible is the message here. Another thing that I always talk about is this concept of being one product away. I always say this, that everyone is one product away from changing everything. I've talked about in the past that the beauty of Shopify and the strategies that I talk about here on the channel is that if you can create a winning product, meaning if you can have the perfect combination of a niche, of a product choice, and a design, and then you launch those products, you can begin to scale them. And if they are winning, you can scale them and change everything, right? If you can get to the point where you're selling one design 100 times a month, then that's a big deal, right? Especially if you're profiting $10 or $15 per sale. That's going to be a big deal. And that's kind of why I wanted to bring this up, because that goes hand in hand with what we're going to be talking about when it comes to actually marketing our products today, right? So how to spend the $100. This is what you guys are here for, right? Is with your minimum viable product is first your Shopify subscription, right? It's $29 $29 a month. You're going to get a free trial when you first start. And like I said at the beginning of the video, if you want to check out my free course, it's down in the description. It's over 20 videos that's going to show you how to actually get started and open your store. So that's going to take up $29 of your $100. You're also going to need a domain name. You can go literally to a bunch of different places and buy a domain name. It's about $10 a year. So that's going to leave you with $61, right? And like I said before, you're not going to be spending any of this on expensive themes or paid apps for your Shopify store. You're literally going to spend this entire $61 on designs, right? If you're a designer yourself, go buy like pieces of the designs. You can go on like Creative Market, Envato Market, Graphic River, Etsy. You can buy different pieces of your designs. You can put them together, or you can actually hire a designer. And if you guys want me to make a video on hiring designers, you can let me know down in the comments, because I don't think I actually have a video on that. But that $61 is going to be used to actually spend on designs. That's going to bring you to $100 total, right? You're going to have $100 total invested if you spend all $61 on the designs, and you're going to have yourself a minimum viable product, right? A Shopify store that has a few designs on it, and you're going to begin marketing for free. And like I said earlier, when I first started print on demand, this is what I did with one of my stores, and I was able to get it to the point where it was generating about $5,000 a month in sales. So let's jump into it, right? It's going to be on Instagram. What you're going to do is you're going to create a niche Instagram page. You're going to literally open an Instagram account for your niche, right? And you're going to make sure that the store link with a discount code is inside the bio of your Instagram account. So that way, if people land on your Instagram account and it'll say something like, want to shop our merch, ? Use code Instagram to save 15%, and then have a link to the store, right? And then what you want to do is post content that the niche will like and grow the account, right? Do this consistently. Post once, twice, 3 times a day, videos, memes, images, funny pictures, whatever, of things that relate to your niche, right? And begin to grow the account. When it comes to growing the account, one of the main factors that I've found has been making sure that you're using the right hashtags on your post, right? If you want to go do hashtag research inside of your niche, see what other people are posting, what hashtags they're using, and experiment with those on your own posts and see how the engagement is, and then figure out which hashtags are best for you. The goal here is to just post consistent content, right? And begin growing that account. And then over time, right? It's not going to happen overnight, but again, we're doing this with less than $100 here, right? It's not going to happen overnight, but over time, you're going to want to start to DM followers, right? So let's say that you have someone who's consistently liking all of your photos. Shoot them a message and just say something like, hey, I really appreciate the support here on the Instagram page. If you are ever interested in checking out any of our merch, we just launched our store. Check it out. The link is right here if you want to use this discount code, and give them a big discount, right? 25% off or something like that. Also, what you can do is, as you're posting videos and images and memes and things like that people in the niche will actually like, you can also start posting pictures of your products, right? Say, hey, link in bio, right? Want to buy this? Link in bio. Use discount code to save X amount of dollars, right? And the goal is to just continue doing this, right? It's free. Right? You have a Shopify store. You started it with less than $100. You have some designs on it, and now you're posting content and you're growing a niche audience, and then you're going to begin subtly start to promote products to them. And then the goal would be eventually is, after you're making those sales, to be able to begin making first sales and scale to ads, right? And if you have more money, right? Let's say that you're starting with more than $100, you can do everything I talked about. But then you can use ads, right? Facebook ads are the scale, are the king of scale, right? Using ads is the best way to actually scale print-on-demand products, because on day one, you can begin selling products to thousands of people. You need to learn Facebook ads, folks. You need to make sure that you're understanding the power of them in when it comes to selling print-on-demand products. So let me know what you guys think, right? Starting with less than $100, right? You're going to open your Shopify store. It's going to be a minimum viable product type of store. It's going to have a few designs on it, and then you're going to go on Instagram and begin growing a niche Instagram page. Let me know if that is something that you are currently doing, or maybe it's something that you're going to do now. And if you're already in the process of doing it, let me know how it is going. But like I said, if you guys want some more help, there's a link down in the description to all of the trainings that I have, and there might even be a special discount code there for you. So check that out, and I hope you guys did enjoy the video. If you did, drop a like, and I'll see you guys in the next video.